Hi everyone, and welcome. It is day 9 of the 13 horrors for Halloween, which means you got 4 more reviews, folks. After this one, I got a really special one. I want to talk about another one that is considered a classic for sure, but there's some people out there, I don't know if they really appreciate the movie as much as I do. So I wanted to talk about that, and that movie is, of course, The Hills Have Eyes. And I'll be talking about that in just a second. Also, I just wanted to do a quick DVD update. Not really, but I just wanted to let people know if you're doing any last minute shopping before, October 31st, All Hallows Eve, if you will. There's some really good deals I actually saw at Walmart earlier today. This one right here is the Gorehound Great Collection. Includes 12 movies. That's right, folks, 12 movies. A couple of them I actually heard of, like Stanley and Primeval and Nightmare in Wax. This is $5 for this. Okay, $5. And I just thought it was really, I couldn't believe it was that cheap for 12 movies. I mean, it's insane. Over 17 hours of horror entertainment right there. And I didn't even know what the hell this was when I saw it, but I saw that it had, the main one that I remember is Primeval on it, but I haven't seen that in many years. I used to see it on TV a lot back in the 80s, early 90s. So again, Grindhouse Greats, that was $5. And another one that I heard was $5, and I'm really happy I got this. I'm going to watch this here shortly. It is the theatrical cut, the original cut, I guess, of Happy Birthday to Me. And for all those out there that didn't know, the other release of Happy Birthday to Me, which I never bought and I never watched, Sony, I think, and Columbia released that, and they had to change the music on it. It was a completely different soundtrack for some reason, some sort of rights issues and stuff. And if you can see it right there, it says, now with the original score fans have begged for, I guess. You can't really see that on this shitty fucking camera, but I always liked the movie. It's not as classic as the cover art. We all love the cover art and remember it. But for $5, there's no way I wasn't going to get this. I didn't get this to review, so $5, well spent right there. So on to the review now, folks. You guys are here for the review. I'll touch on the remake a little bit later, but this movie, The Hills Have Eyes, directed by Wes Craven, released in '77 to mainly a bunch of grindhouse theaters and drive-ins and stuff like that. I'm not sure how big of a hit this was when it first came out, but it has become one of my favorite movies, one of my favorite horror movies. And I'll give you a little bit of a back history on this. I got this VHS tape many, many years ago. This is an old Harmony Vision VHS. It says on the back, actually distributed by Vestron Video, manufactured and distributed by Vestron Video. So this is probably early Vestron. I have no idea if this was the original VHS tape. I'm guessing it was, because it looks older than fuck. But I grew up with this movie, okay? The movie itself, and it is also on DVD. I have the DVD here as well. And anybody that knows me, I mean, if you've seen any of the videos, you've probably caught a Hills Have Eyes shirt in there, and I also had the chance to recently get one of the posters that I've always wanted, which was the original Hills Have Eyes poster with that classic artwork and the classic slogan on it, a nice American family they didn't want to kill, but they didn't want to die. And that's definitely one of the coolest slogans on any horror poster right there. I always thought that was so awesome. Anyway, though, this DVD right here didn't come out until, I think it was 2003. I think, yeah, 2003. And I was like, I couldn't wait for this thing to come out, because I knew it was a 2-disc set, had a lot of extra features and stuff on it, so I was really excited to finally get it, because, for years I'd only seen it on this VHS, So, the movie itself. Okay, the movie starts off a family going on a road trip. I'm not sure if they ever say exactly where they're going. Um, and they stop at a gas station. The father wants to know what's the quickest way to get to their destination, and of course, the the gas station attendant, the owner, and all this says stay on the main road, don't take the shortcut through the desert. But the guy doesn't listen to him. The guy doesn't listen to him. You know how it goes, folks. He takes a shortcut through the desert, and of course, the traps that were planted, of course, by the inbred family, um, led by, well, one of the main guys, of course, the most memorable dude is Pluto, Michael Berryman. Um, and you get a little bit of a hint that maybe something happened where they're on this nuclear test area. They're hiding in these hills, and they have been deformed over the years. They're all fucked up, pretty much. Let's say that. And Michael Berryman definitely has the oddest look of them all because he really does have something wrong with him, which I thought made the movie even more creepy and scary and stuff like that. But anyway, after the family is stuck in the middle of the desert, that's when the family of the inbred family, they're cannibals. They start playing games with them, fucking with them, and it all escalates into just absolute carnage. Like there's just some of the most brutal scenes, just chaotic, in this movie, and they cross the line a lot of times, like kidnapping a baby, and you get the idea that they're gonna cook the baby, they're gonna eat the baby, and you just don't do that in movies. And just the atmosphere created in this film as well, just the way it was shot, the flow of the movie. It was one of the creepier horror films of that era, and there was a lot of them. This was in the late '70s. Robert A. Burns, the production designer, I guess prop designer for Texas Chainsaw Massacre, was on this movie, and you could definitely tell too, because a lot of the stuff throughout, the set pieces, things like that, realistic, really realistic, and I think that that's why this film, The Hills Have Eyes, over the years and in the years to come, will rise above, and I think it rises above the remake right now. I know a lot of people don't think that, but the remake, the problem with the remake, there's a lot of problems with that remake. I don't like that movie. I think that The Hills Have Eyes, that Wes Craven made and Peter Locke made, is the only Hills Have Eyes. I think the other one was a complete joke. This one crossed the line. There was brutality, a lot of sadistic stuff in this movie, and just the grimy look of this film. I just love it. It is one of my favorite horror films, and I had to talk about it. And there's a rumor actually that Anchor Bay is working on the Blu-ray release of this right now. I don't know if that's the case. I certainly hope so. But there was some things, in that remake that just, it was too polished, looked too much like a Hollywood movie. They over-explained everything. Like, you get the hint that maybe a lot of the nuclear testing nonsense, because they did live right above that, was made them a little deformed over the years or something like that. But they tell you all about that in that remake. The over-explanation of everything. And that's what I hate about a lot of the remakes and movies today, is nothing is left up to your imagination. And 99% of the time, the stuff that you think is going on makes it all the more creepy. The stuff that they don't tell you, and it is left up. You can bullshit with your friends. What was that? What was really happening there? That doesn't happen anymore. They tell you everything. Like, you have to know the minuscule details and why, let's just say why the dumbass from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake got his legs cut off. Like, how did that happen? Why did Leatherface start killing people? Who gives a shit? Another thing I didn't like about the Hills Have Eyes remake was the mutants. The mutants look like shit in that. I know that the makeup effects and stuff are a lot better today, but they just weren't creepy at all. They just looked ridiculous. I ain't got nothing on this dude right here. And it was funnier than hell talking to Michael Berryman. If you go back, just search for Michael Berryman in one of our videos. We did an interview with him and asked him about the remake. He's not a fan of that remake either, and that made me like Michael Berryman even more. Looking forward to talking with him again at the Darkwood show coming up in Pikeville next year. But harrowing and nasty, yes. Hills Have Eyes. As you can tell, I really like this movie. So check this movie out. If you've seen the remake, if you like the remake, give this one a go. This is a better movie, definitely, in my opinion. I know a lot of people out there, we all have different opinions. If you like the remake better, I guess that's fine. Don't say that to my face, I might strangle you. So I will be back in a couple of days with another horror for Halloween that would be a good viewing experience for you guys. And Uncle Bill will be back, I think, tomorrow. Should be there tomorrow. And also, go to our message board, deadpit.proboards.com. For the next, probably about a day, we'll be taking your, we have a poll up about what horror film you want us, me and Uncle Bill, to do a commentary for on Halloween, which will be the big ass Halloween Bash, the 4th annual. And it's Battle of the Sequels, Friday the 13th Part 2 versus Halloween 2. One of those. I think Halloween 2 is winning pretty handedly right now, but anything can happen on DEADPIT. So, see you guys then. Check out Hills Have Eyes. Woo, baby.